back, NYC Fragrance family. So this video was something I've been thinking about for a while. I was originally going to make this a tag video, but as I started making the video and started doing research and everything, I'm like, do I really want to put people in a position where they're going to have to do a lot of research? So, what's the video about? Simply put, 1986. 1986 is the year that I first started wearing fragrances. So what I thought of as a fun way to share what went on that year, some fragrances that came out that year, which I happen to have 5 of them, and what started the journey. So the year is 1986, and I finally start wearing fragrances. Been smelling fragrances on my father and my uncles and family members for years. And one that was always tried and true, and was one that, as an Italian American, you knew of this fragrance, you knew the smell of this fragrance. It's very popular. It is an Italian brand, and I still own a bottle of it. It's not the first bottle I ever had, but it is a bottle of the fragrance, and it has sentimental value because it's the first fragrance I wore. And it is Pinot Silvestre Eau de Toilette. There we go. Finally get the focus. Alright. Just got a sentimental spot for me, this fragrance. You know, I remember my first girlfriend loving the smell of this stuff. It's almost laughable now when I think about it, but listen, there was a scent and I always smelled good and I had a scent on me, and it was from a young age, right? So it's 1986. So some of the things that happened in 1986. You had some good things and some bad things. Start with the bad things. You had the Chernobyl incident, the nuclear disaster in Chernobyl. That happened in 1986. You had the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion on launch, which was also another devastating thing. I know, doom and gloom the first year I'm wearing fragrances. It gets better. The debut of the Oprah Winfrey Show happened in 1986. Halley's Comet passed by the Earth, the closest pass it made by the Earth, in 1986. You had Hands Across America, where the money went towards poverty in Africa, which was something that we do a lot here in the country as far as donations and drives to help, help good causes. Phantom of the Opera debuted in London in 1986. Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion of the world in 1986. The Mets won the World Series. Now, I'm not going to say that that's a good thing because I'm a Yankee fan, but New York is New York. New York won the World Series in 86. Good for them. Movies that were out in 1986, Top Gun, Platoon, and Aliens. So, was it a great year? There's some things that happened in 1986. But let's see what happened in fragrances. So the 5 fragrances I'm going to talk to you about. First one, I have in the splash bottle, and it is Versace L'Homme. Now this is the vintage formulation. Not easy to find. Classic citrus aromatic, fantastic fragrance. And I would say this was a very, very good release in 1986. Probably not the most successful. The most successful release, I think, of 1986 is coming. But this one is definitely a good one, and a lot of people enjoy this one. The next fragrance is another Italian brand, and it is the house of Gianfranco Ferri, and it is Gianfranco Ferri for Man. Not to be mistaken with Gianfranco Ferri for Men, this is for Man. Now this is the newer bottle of this bottle, or this formulation. The original bottle will look something like this one. You see there's glass, it's a glass, it's mostly brown glass in the middle. This one was a splash bottle. See, it has a little cap on it. And you can still smell the essence of it. This bottle's empty actually because I ordered a spray bottle, long story. Ordered a spray bottle. I actually ordered this for this video and it got emptied out. So I have the bottle, but the fragrance is gone. I smell the essence of it in the bottle. It smells the same as the one in the spray bottle that I bought. So we're good there. The next one is actually still being talked about, still popular, still on a lot of cheapie lists. And I think it's one of the best fougères out there, especially for the money. And it is from the house of Davidoff, and it is Zeno. Now this one, I believe, is being discontinued, becoming harder to find. Prices are going to start going up on this one. But right now it's still in the cheapie realm. I am glad I have this one. I love wearing it. I'm trying to look at the level. Whacked out. Anyway, it's a great aromatic fougère fragrance with a little touch of spiciness. It's a little different than your average fougère. And for the price you pay for one of these right now, if you can find it discounted, I believe under $30, fantastic fragrance, if those are the kind of fragrances you like. The next one, it came out in 1986. This may not be the original formulation of the bottle either, but I just recently got it, and I do enjoy the smell of this fragrance. And it is from the house of Jeffrey Bean, and it is Bowling Green. This fragrance, basically to me, smells like a combination of two Creed fragrances. Green Irish Tweed and Bois de Portugal. You got that nice green style, that cool waterish, fresh green spring fragrance like Green Irish Tweed. But then you get a richness, mossiness, zinginess like the way Bois de Portugal is. You combine the two and you get this. This is coming in under $20. I mean, if you've got something that you just want to bang around with, I would say this is a great gym scent. Not that I go to the gym, but I hear a lot of people carry gym scents. This would probably be a good gym scent. This would be a good everyday freshie, something to wear to work. It's basic, but when you combine those two scent profiles, it makes for a really nice fragrance. And for less than $20, it's a steal. The packaging it comes in is this cardboard cylindrical thing. See, show it to you up close. Got a little plastic cap on top. It's kind of cool. It's different. Something nice. So now, the fifth and last fragrance I'm going to talk about. It came out in 1986. Probably was the most successful release that year. And it is the Amber Killer from Calvin Klein. Obsession for Men. This fragrance, when I had this fragrance, I remember I wore it. I want to say I wore this in 1990, mostly. It was a killer. Compliments. It just did its thing. Let me put it to you that way. I was 20 years old. This was a fragrance that, at that time, my significant other definitely enjoyed. It was a favorite. And I liked the way it smelled on me too. This is a very ambery fragrance, somewhat powdery fragrance, but still gave off that vibe of some of the fragrances that I enjoy today, that I still enjoy. And this may not be the original formulation either, but again, this one still works. And this one still smells really, really good. And now this is deeply discounted as well, probably under $30. You could have the Amber Beast from Calvin Klein, Obsession for Men. So that was 1986. Those are the 5 fragrances that I was able to share with you that came out the year that I started wearing fragrances. I was a young, strapping 16-year-old, and I had my Pinot Silvestre. And, you know, people liked it. I got compliments from it, you know. My girlfriend, when I was 17 years old, it's one of the things that she always remembered. You know, would always talk about. I always smelled good, and it was the Pinot Silvestre. But anyway, we're talking ancient history. Things have changed. Life has moved on. A long time ago. So, like I had said, I wanted to make this a tag video, but being that I'm looking up what happened that year, and, you know, I have fragrances that came out that year. Not everybody would. Then you'd probably have to go and find out and post pictures and so on and so forth. I thought it would be too much for me to ask you to do it as a tag video. But this is what I'll say. If you find it interesting enough to do this video and to try to do this video, then everybody out there that's watching the video that feels like making this video the year you started wearing fragrances and giving, you know, kind of like what I did. You could even go further. I'm sure guys can be more creative with it than myself, and I'd be interested to see what people do with it. I just didn't want to tag anybody because I think it would be a little bit too much and take up a little bit too much time for you to make the video. That's the only reason why, and I know what it takes to make these videos, and that's why I changed my mind about making it a tag. So, new viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, I try to come up with something different and try to come up with new ideas to keep things a little more interesting. New subscribers, thank you for joining the family. And New York City, NYC, Fragrance Family. I almost got stuck there, I couldn't get it out. Thank you for your continued support from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me, really does. And until the next time, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.